Welcome to the Real Estate 401k Show. Here are your hosts, Ryan Gertis, Mike Weinstein, and Justin Frederick, helping you build a legacy of wealth through real estate. Powered by the Recon Group at West USA and the Frederick team with Fairway Mortgage. NMLS number 625918.
You know, though most of our episodes are geared towards home buyers, sellers, investors, whatever the case is, but being a leading team of real estate wealth managers here in the great state of Arizona, we tend to have a lot of realtors, a lot of real estate agents, real estate professionals who follow this podcast and get a lot of information about, building wealth in real estate, because that's what we do. This specific episode, Ryan, I want to talk specifically to real estate agents. We are going to blow your mind. We are going to give you an incredible tool in which, for you, if you have a real estate license, and I know Justin will correct me, but it doesn't matter what state you have this real estate license, because these are Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac programs, correct?
And
VA and
That's
FHA.
right.
But we're going to give you an incredible tool that is going to drastically help you build your personal wealth. And Ryan, it just comes down to, as a licensee, I can use my commission, my co-broke, whatever you want to call it, I can use my commission and apply it towards my down payment on a home.
You have just taken your real estate license and created a DPA program. That's what you've just done. So if you go and you want to purchase a property, and let's just say hypothetically you're being offered a 3% commission, you're more than halfway there for your down payment if you were to do like a traditional conventional loan, right, that required 5%. So you guys can do the simple math there. So it's been an incredible tool. And before this, we've had to kind of create loopholes. We've had to either
We can do it legally now.
now we
Without looking over our
now we don't have
shoulders.
to lie about it. So what was it? It was about 8 months ago or something like that. Believe it or not, our good friend here, Mr. Mike Weinstein, is the president of the Boys Burger Club.
Just go to boysburgerclub.com and it'll change your life.
And it's incredible. And I'm going to deviate from the topic for just a little bit. Their entire plight was to get free burgers. And so they decided to start up a Boys Burger Club.
Can we do a podcast on that one day?
Yeah, and the first one, they get like 100 people to show up to this thing. And of course, he gets free burgers and, okay, you're on to something. And now it's like a monthly thing. It's incredible what you've done with that. But getting back on topic here, we were at a Boys Burger Club event one day, and he said, yeah, found this house out in Queen Creek, and, I like it. There's, it's appraised for $50,000 more than what I bought it for, but, I have about $30,000 or $40,000. I forget what the number was, 30 or 40 grand need to put into it, and that included getting furniture to outfit it and get it all up and running as a short-term rental. And I said, what are you doing, man? Just increase the commission by $40,000 and increase the price by $40,000, and now all of a sudden there's your down payment and there's the extra cash that you need in order to outfit it. And he's like, damn it, dude.
That's a great idea. I'm sitting here listening to that story going, that guy's brilliant, man.
Next day you had all your paperwork together and everything was postured out so that you got to walk away with zero cash out of pocket. And then he got to put an extra, 20 or 30 grand in pocket to finish off all the furnishings and just a couple of little fix-its and doodads here and there. And almost, what are your numbers now? How is that bad boy cash flowing for you?
Oh, I don't know specifically, but it is going really, really well. We started off incredibly strong because of the time of year. And then I know we have a previous podcast, which our listeners, if you're doing short-term rentals, you need to go back to our archives. But the summertime out here in Arizona is always traditionally slow, and kind of started focusing on the midterm. And I'm booked until the fall comes up, and then that's when I'm going to start, making the most. And
then high season comes.
And high season comes, yeah.
Right. So you've been able to employ this strategy when it was maybe not legal. But now this is something that you get to take advantage of if you have a real estate license. It's an immediate DPA program. And the beauty of it is that, Justin, you were the one that brought this information to us. So now we don't have to, draw outside of the lines anymore. When did this go down, and who's using it, and what are you seeing it being applied for? And
well, I do want to say before, Justin, I'll let you jump in. I know, again, we have a lot of real estate agents, a lot of licensees who do listen to the podcast. And if you are looking for creative ways to leverage your commissions and leverage your, I shouldn't even say commissions, leveraging your license to reduce out-of-pocket cash, text the word agent to 623-AZ-RECON. That's agent to 623-AZ-RECON, and we'll have a conversation.
So to answer your question, actually, this was something that Freddie Mac allowed for primary residents for as long as I can remember. But
what does remember mean?
Remember.
It's like the guy from
Man, I'm going to
Blazing
start doing that
Saddles.
to you.
You know, the drunk and Blazing Saddles.
you do a really good job at that.
I just can't finish the rest of that movie line.
Yeah. So it's just something that we were digging through. Actually, you brought it up to me, asking me if we could do this, and I just went to the guidelines and started checking it out, and everybody followed suit. So it's not an announcement that was actually made. So a lot of lenders don't even know about this because it wasn't an announcement that was made. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA,
Man, if you've served our country and you have a real estate license,
License to steal.
Yeah.
Merca.
Sorry, keep going.
No.
I get excited.
Yeah. So all these investors are allowing you to purchase with your commissions now. And going back to conventional, it doesn't have to be a primary residence. You can do this on an investment property or a second home as well. So what a beautiful product or a guideline.
So I'm really going to take this out for a spin now because, Ryan and I were very, very creative on how we leverage our commissions. And so oftentimes to reduce out-of-pocket cash, because cash is king and we love cash and we try to hang on to as much cash as we can to reinvest in that next property. I don't want to take all my cash and throw it into a property and not have enough cash for the next investment opportunity, correct? So in theory, if there's enough meat on the bone, I increase my commission to 5%. So let's say they're offering a 3%, and we are not advocating that there's a traditional, there's an average commission. I'm just throwing out an example. Let's say seller's offering me a 3% co-broke, okay? And I now increase my purchase price a little bit, but so that I can get a 5% co-broke. And I'm now required to only put 5% down for the loan. And then what if, through my negotiations, I talk the seller into kicking in 2 to 3% to cover my closing costs?
So you can absolutely cover your closing costs. Now, where you might get into an issue is the guidelines.
That you're not coming in with any money.
No, you can come in with no money, but so you can't take an extreme commission. It's got to be a market commission. So I think you can get away with 5%, definitely. See, where the difference is coming in, because I know on one of your properties you had a huge commission that you were able to negotiate, but we didn't have to see your commission instructions. So that didn't get turned into the underwriter. Whereas if you're using your commissions as a down payment, you're showing me your commission instructions. So we're knowing what you're getting for commissions. That may cause an issue there, but I think you can get away with 5%.
And you know how I don't want to get into trouble, but how you get around that and how you get out of it. And you have to explain this to the other agent. Okay, because that's what I do in these situations. I have to take that other agent to school and just explain how it works. It doesn't ever impact your seller's bottom line.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. Your seller's bottom line is their bottom line. But they got to be willing to, if you really want to just ease all concern, they got to change that number on the MLS.
Yeah.
So that if the underwriter then goes to the MLS and is now looking at the listing sheet and they're offering a 5% co-broke, it should, and I'm not going to guarantee, there's no guarantees in this, but it should eliminate potential problems.
It should, because who are we to say what you're allowed to make as a commission on purchasing a house? What is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac? Who are they to say that you can't make this as a realtor?
The government.
Very true.
They can say whatever they want to say.
But I mean, I can't tell somebody how to file their tax return. You know, there's all kinds of creative ways to do accounting through tax returns. I can't tell somebody exactly how to file their tax return. That's up to the IRS to do, right? So there's nothing in the guidelines that say you can't list a house and pay somebody 5%. That would be my argument, and I would take it all the way to the top if I got into an issue with it. But I feel like we would win.
There's so much creativity that that provides opportunities for those of us with real estate licenses. And you might be listening going, man, I got to go out and get me a real estate license. But regardless, if you're looking for that creativity, if you're looking for ideas, you're looking for more ideas on how to leverage your commission in your quest to acquire real estate, all you got to do is text the word agent to 623-AZ-RECON. That's agent to 623-AZ-RECON.
Oh.
I was hoping you had something more to say.
Well, I mean, for me, it's just the stories go on and on here because for all this time we've always just said that commissions aren't concessions, right? Mm-hmm. So we've been able to pivot and be more creative just with that mindset alone. And so the idea that now we no longer really need to really fight it is great. But I think that the real twist to the story here is the fact that you guys do see those commission instructions. So all of that being said, if you have the cash to close and then reimburse yourself through the commissions, then that might be the best avenue depending on what your tax situation is.
Oh, we want to avoid those taxes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal.
Right, yeah. But it plays into the part even when we sell real estate too, because let's say you buy a property and then 6 short months later you want to sell it, right? Then there's a lot of exposure that you may have on the tax side, and using that commission using your profits as a commission might be most beneficial to you too. And so, yeah, Uncle Sam might be listening to this, and I might get audited for all these things. But at the end of the day, they're the ones that wrote the rules. I'm just following it.
You know, and I would just also say that it's going to create if you're going to go down this road and you're going to be creative, which we are, and we highly encourage you to at least explore these options, Ryan, you better have a really good accountant.
No doubt.
I mean, it's Cindy's our lifesaver. I mean, she really is. And the other thing, and we don't have time to get into it, but this is what I was leading to, you're going to want to talk to your accountant and maybe talk to your real estate attorney, because you're going to want to incorporate your name. You're going to want to create that PLLC that as real estate agents we're allowed to have, because if I take that commission and reimburse me, or I just take that commission and buy stuff for the house, there's some very creative write-offs available to you. But I'm not an accountant, and I'm not a real estate attorney. I'm not even a smart man. But with that being said, we would love to have that conversation with you. If you want to get creative, if you want to learn more about what we do at the Recon Group, what we do as a team of real estate wealth managers, and more importantly, what we do as investors ourselves and what our entire team does to leverage commissions, all you got to do is text the word agent to 623-AZ-RECON. That's agent to 623-AZ-RECON.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate 401k Show. If you want more information on how to build wealth, click on the link or text us at 623-297-3266. That's 623-AZ-RECON.